rise for the prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, we call upon you this evening asking for your guidance in our decision-making. Give us the wisdom to make our judgments based on the best interests of this community and the children we serve. These things we ask in your name. Amen.
Ms. White, will you take us
Yes.
to
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Forte, roll call, please.
Mr. Campbell?
Here.
Mr. Egan? Ms. Jackson? Here. Ms. Lee Bowman is not with us. Ms. Lemoyne?
Here.
Ms. Dysart is not with us tonight. Mr. England?
Here.
Mr. Long?
Here.
Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Warner?
Here.
And Ms. White?
Here.
Thank you, Ms. Forte. Mr. Campbell has the privilege. Mr. Campbell.
Yes. Long-time teacher at St. Bernard High School, Beauregard, and also Chalmette. Charlie Tardival passed away.
Gosh.
He was well loved by his students. He did a lot at Chalmette for the women's softball.
Right.
Good start.
He was well respected, that gentleman. Very good. So, condolences go out to the man, to the Tardival family. So we'll take a moment.
And
of
while,
silence.
while with it, we do have another one, an employee who passed away recently, Miss Kathy Foxworth, who was a paraeducator at Smith Elementary School.
Okay.
So I'd like to also add her to the
Moment of
moment of
silence.
silence.
Okay. So we just take a moment of silence, please. Thank you, and just keep these families in your prayers. Thank you. Okay, go on to item number 2, communication update, super news. Ms. Pritchard, good evening.
Good evening, everyone. This month's communications update includes our most recent press release, which announces Justin Template as a Louisiana Teacher of the Year finalist. The State Teacher of the Year will be announced on Saturday, July 30th, during the 14th Annual Educator Excellence Awards Gala. I also wanted to take a moment to congratulate Justin on being named to Gambit's 40 Under 40 list for this year. It was announced earlier this week. This honor recognizes individuals who are considered to be the most influential young leaders in the New Orleans area, and we know Justin is just that. I've included our monthly social media and website analytics in the packet this evening, but seeing as this is our last super news of this school year, until the August one, I've also included analytics for this past year for you within the packet. I'm happy to share that we put out 53 press releases since last August. Thank you, Barry. We've had over 1.6 million visits to our district webpage in that same time frame. Our Facebook analytics for the year are broken down for you. It highlights our audience, the top cities where our searches are coming from, as well as our Facebook reach, visits, and likes for the entire year. As you know, in the past year, we created a Twitter account and a LinkedIn account to expand our outreach, and we are happy with our performance on those platforms. In addition to the analytics, and before we watch the June edition of Super News, we just wanted to take a moment to congratulate School Board Vice President Mrs. Diana Dysart for receiving the Rotary Club Community Service Award. I know she's not here with us this evening, but we did want to thank her for all that she does. We did put out a post last week for her with this, and we included the picture from the awards night in this packet for you on page 6. So without further ado, please enjoy this month's edition of Super News.
And now from the desk of the Superintendent's office, it's time for Super News.
Hi, I'm Lexi Pritchard.
And I'm Barry Lemoyne, and welcome to our summer edition of Super News, being recorded here at the Moment Center.
And we'll begin here with a look at all of the learning taking place at this year's STEM camp. Our campers took part in a wide array of fun-filled, hands-on science activities. These summer scientists also enjoyed a number of top-notch planetarium shows, as learning is truly being brought to life.
And while these students were enjoying science lessons, several of our teachers were doing some hands-on science learning at this year's Mississippi River Delta Institute. Over 30 adults from the headwaters and the Delta regions of the Mississippi River gathered for this 3-day immersive experience. In addition to touring the Delta ecosystem, teachers were given strategies on how to incorporate outdoor learning into their classrooms. It was some hot days, but some cool learning taking place. Thanks to the Miro Foundation and the Center for Global Environmental Education at Hamline University in Minnesota for its continued efforts in support of our teachers.
And now we'll go from the Mississippi River to St. Petersburg, Russia for a sneak peek at the upcoming production of Anastasia. This musical tells the story of an orphan stranded in what was once the Russian capital on a quest to rediscover her past. Produced by the creative team at the Academy, the upcoming musical fairy tale promises to be another high-quality production. For show dates and times, visit the district's website.
In other news, we'd like to congratulate some of our outstanding educators who have taken on new responsibilities for the upcoming school year. Denise Pritchard, the longtime principal at Trist Middle School, will now be leading our personnel department, while veteran Trist AP Kara Colburn will now be the principal there. Andrew Jackson Middle School Principal Andrea LaCharlie was recently appointed to a new position as a coordinator of special projects, and longtime Arabic AP Jerry Roussel will now be the supervisor of transportation. We will miss each of these ladies in their former roles, but are excited to have them in these new leadership positions.
Justin Template continues to garner accolades for his classroom leadership. Recently, Justin was recognized by the Louisiana Department of Education as a statewide Teacher of the Year finalist, one of only 9 teachers in Louisiana to receive this distinction. We are so proud of him for continuing the legacy of classroom excellence. And just this week, Template was named to Gambit's 40 Under 40 list for this year. This honor recognizes individuals who are considered to be the most influential young leaders in the New Orleans area. Congratulations, Justin, and thank you for continuing to shine the spotlight on your alma mater and our community.
Arlene Mirror Elementary School served as the summer camp location for 18 elementary students with significant cognitive disabilities. These students engaged in a week-long summer camp, Cruise St. Bernard. Let's take a look.
Well, that's about all the time we have today. But before we go, let's take a quick look back at all of the joy and celebration that were a part of last month's 8th grade exit ceremonies. If these events are any indication, we have a bright future ahead of us. Congrats to all of these 8th graders, and we look forward to seeing all of them next year at Chalmette High School.
Enjoy the rest of your summer, and we'll see you in August for our next edition of Super News, where we always let the Super News roll. See you later. Bye.
Ms. Pritchard, that was fantastic. You know, you did a fantastic job, especially with the internet. You know, it was getting the network to the general public, to the parents and that. You know, and that's one of the strengths. I know Mr. Warren was heavy on that. You know, to get it to the parents. And so we really appreciate that. And this year went by so fast. It looked like the sun was going by fast. You got to start off a minute. But thank you. And one other thing too, Justin, he grew up in my neighborhood. I know his grandpa, his daddy, his mama, and he was a great little kid when he lived in it. He used to live in my neighborhood, you know. But a fantastic family. Congratulations to Justin. Yeah, Mr. Warren.
Thank you, Mr. England. Great job again to the communication, on a communication report, Lexi, Barry, Jack, great job. Hot off the press. Congrats to one of our softball players, Ricky Adams.
Oh,
She made all Metro. It was
Really?
yeah, I was told that right before the meeting. So one of our softball players made all Metro, and our softball team I think went to state this
Went
year
state,
as well.
right, yeah.
So just wanted to add that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks, Ms. Fay. Anyone else? Oh, Ms. Lamont.
And I also wanted to congratulate you, Lexi, for I just saw that you received the Louisiana Reading Association Media Award for the state.
Thank you.
So congratulations on
Congratulations.
that. I saw it online just now.
That's well
So your
deserved.
first year, and you already got the state award. So
thank you.
kudos. Awesome job.
Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Right. Thank you. Okay. All right. Move on to item number 3, approval to incorporate the report of general committee meeting minutes for June 14th, 2022, and into the minutes of June 28th, 2022, the regular monthly meeting.
So moved.
Have a motion by Mr. Lawrence, second by Mr. Smith. Any questions? Please cast your vote.
Motion passes 9-0.
Okay. Then we have personnel items. Ms. Foche.
Actually, it'll be Ms. Pritchett.
Ms. Pritchett, oh, hey. And congratulations, Ms. Pritchett.
Thank you. First, I want to say that I am both honored and thrilled to have been named the new supervisor of personnel. I look forward to serving our students in a different capacity. I'm going to miss them, seeing them every day, but I look forward to building our teaching corps and serving them that way. So you'll see in your packet that we have the personnel changes.
This is for information only?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. We have a couple of retirements.
Yes. One very special one,
Huh?
Dr. Raviota.
Right.
His last day is Thursday. As he moves
Wow.
on, yes.
He-
48 years? Is it 48 years?
48 years. I told him he's 2 years short
Sure.
of the tree.
A tree. Yes.
He was a fantastic teacher. In fact, he
Yes.
taught my son, way
Yes.
back when.
Heard stories, good
Yeah.
stories about him for a long time.
Yeah,
Yes.
fantastic teacher.
Yes.
Also, we have a couple of, let's see, retirement, Doreen Green,
Yes.
custodian from Shelman High School.
Yes.
And let's see, that's it. Those are
That's
two.
it. That's it.
We wish her a great retirement.
And, we wish Ms. Green well in her retirement, and especially Dr. Raviota. I guess it's time to be a little nostalgic. When I went to, I guess, Shelman High School in 1971. He arrived, I think, in 1973. So we kind of grew up together. So I've known him since he's 21 years old, and as we went through, many, many different capacities. And we had a great deal of, I think, fun, and he heavily influenced a lot of the young men who went through Shelman High School. And one of the things that he has done, back in those days, we had something called the teacher advisor role, where we each had a group of advisees that we kept their entire 4 years while they were in high school. And he has kept up with those students over the years, sending them birthday cards and in communication. So one of those rare individuals who has made a real difference in the lives of kids and has really made an attempt to keep up with all of these young men over the course of these many years that he's been with us. So he's going to be sorely missed. He filled a lot of roles here in our central office when we had issues where people may not have been able to complete their duties or whatever, and I would go to Rav, and Rav never said no to anything. So he was jack of all trades, as we'd say, and he has done an unbelievable job for this school district and for the young people within our community. So we're sad to see him go, but he is going to be spending much more family time with his wife and his 2 children. And he promised not to block any of our phone calls, as we call him, where he is relocating to. So.
And he did a fantastic job with the early childhood.
Absolutely,
Man,
with
it was
everything
fantastic.
that he did
The
here.
reports that he handed to the board,
Yes.
every month he was here, and fantastic. Some hard shoes to fill there.
I know. Yes.
But I wish him well. Okay. Anything else? Thank you, Ms.
Okay.
Pritchett.
All right.
Okay, Ms. Fauché, they got appointments?
Yes, we have 3 administrative appointments tonight. All of these, while we're doing these administrative appointments, it's a domino effect, and we have to advertise, re-advertise. So tonight, we, as you can see, appointing as the principal of Andrew Jackson, Todd Larsh. He's been an educator for 23 years, has a special education certification from Dillard and a master's degree in educational leadership from UNO. He was a special education chair at Andrew Jackson before becoming the assistant principal in 2018. So I think he's going to do an excellent job as the new principal of Andrew Jackson Middle School.
Well, congratulations to
So
Mr.
congratulations to Mr. Larsh. And as the assistant principal of Araby Elementary, the principal of that school, along with our supervisor personnel, did the interviews, and we are happy tonight to announce the appointment of Megan Araby as the assistant principal of Araby Elementary. That'll be easy for the kids to remember what her last name is. So she is a product of our public school system. She grew up in the community, attended our schools, did her student teaching at Araby, then we hired her. She's taught at Chelmsford Elementary and now at Merrow Elementary. She's been a teacher of the year. She's led many of the professional development sessions. She's currently the principal of our reading association. She completed her mentor training and has her master's from UNO. So we're happy to appoint Megan Araby as the new assistant principal at Araby Elementary School.
Congratulations to Megan.
And then our last appointment tonight is the new assistant principal at Trist Middle School. The principal and our assistant superintendent did the interviews. The appointment is Ms. Alicia Capstick. She has been in education for 21 years, hired 10 years ago at Trist Middle School as a science teacher. She's a certified mentor in our Teach St. Bernard program. She has done the professional development for our middle school science teachers throughout the district and has written our science curriculum for the past 9 years at the middle school level. She is assisting Ms. Acevedo with the Science STEM Camp at MoMA, so she helps design some of those lessons as well, and has taken the initiative to do proactive measures with her fellow teachers at Trist to address student discipline. So she's worked and led that general committee. So we think, and she will do an excellent job because of her knowledge of coaching, instruction, and curriculum, and her proactive style to student discipline. So we're happy to appoint Alicia Capstick as the new assistant principal of Trist Middle School.
Congratulations, Alicia.
Okay,
That's great.
so
Fantastic, Ms. Fauché.
We're rolling right along.
You're getting them put in there now. Well, good. You're getting ready for the new year.
yes.
Okay. We go on to Item number 5 is action item to approval of the school board member training certificates for 2021 to be included in the minutes of the June 28, 2022 regular monthly meeting.
So moved.
Have a motion by Mr. Smith, second by Ms. Lamont. Any questions?
And again, as we said at the committee meeting, this is the professional development for all of our school board members. That's mandated by the state, and many of our members have exceeded the required number of hours of training, which then keeps each and every one of you up to date with the educational initiatives of our state and whatever changes are being made from year to year. So everyone has completed the required training. We will put them in the minutes of the meeting and also post that in our official journal as required by law.
Yeah, because it's, you have to maintain 6 hours each and every year for school board members. Okay, any questions? Okay. We have a first and a second, so cast your vote.
Motion passes 9-0.
Approval to renew excess workers' compensation insurance as was the recommendation by the committee. Mr. Long, second by Mr. Smith. And we have some gentlemen, Mr. Clements, and here with us tonight. So, have any questions? No questions. Please cast your vote.
Motion passes 9-0.
Approval of request to advertise for monthly produce solicitations. This was the recommendation by the committee. Ms. White? Okay, Ms. Jackson? Second by Ms. Jackson. Any questions? You got Mr. Fernandez ready to answer any questions that you need. So, not being any, please cast your vote.
Motion passes 9-0.
Approval of bid tabulations for office journal.
So moved.
Have a motion by Mr. Warner. Second. Huh? Mr. Long? Okay. Any questions? Again, Mr. Fernandez is there.
Well, we went through it at the committee.
Right, that's right. So, please cast your vote.
Motion passes 9-0.
Okay. 5.5, approval of bid tabulations for painting and body repairs. This was a recommendation by the committee.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Smith, second by Ms. Jackson. Any questions or comments? Please cast your vote.
Motion passes 9-0.
Okay. 5.6 is approval for bid tabulation for gas, diesel, and other automotive fluids. This was a recommendation by the committee. We have a motion by Ms. White, second by Mr. Warner. Any questions? Okay, please cast your vote.
Motion passes 9-0.
5.7, approval of bid tabulation of paper cleaning and custodial supplies. This was a recommendation by the committee. I have a motion by Ms. Lamont, second by Mr. Warner. Any questions? This was we went over this at the committee meeting. There being none, please cast your vote.
Motion passes 9-0.
5.8, approval of bid tabulations for bus parts. This was a recommendation by the committee. Ms. Jackson, second by Ms. White. Any questions? Okay, there being none, please cast your vote.
Motion passes 9-0.
Okay, items to be placed on the next committee meeting agenda. You have up to 5 days before the committee meeting to get in contact with myself, Ms. Fauché, or Angie, and we'll be glad to get it on the agenda. Okay, superintendent's notes.
Just the recognition that many of our summer programs are winding down at the end of this week. Our summer skills program, our science STEM camp, which lasted the entire month of June, the culmination of our Performing Arts Academy, and I just want to remind everyone that the performances for Anastasia will be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this coming week. There'll be 2 performances on Thursday, a matinee and an evening, then a Friday evening performance, then 2 performances on Saturday, a matinee and an evening, and then a matinee performance on Sunday. As usual, they have double casted a lot of the roles to offer opportunities for more of our kids to take the stage. So in those 6 performances, each one may do 3. So we've got lots of kids who are very, very involved in these productions. We have some of our alumni. One of the trademarks of the performances is our alumni will come back and do a combination of appearing in some of the scenes and taking some of the roles, as well as teaching and doing some of the workshops with the younger students, which is a wonderful way to grow that concept of the entire community. So we have young children all the way through our graduates who are now in college and sometimes even beyond, who will come back and be part of the production. And I hear that it's going to be spectacular. I can't wait to see it myself. So anyone who is interested, you can get on the website, Eventbrite. You can purchase tickets through that, and it's filling up fast. So please, if you're interested in any of the performances, make sure that you get on and reserve your tickets for those evenings.
We'll be there.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Fauche. Any questions for Ms. Fauche? Being none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Move, we adjourn.
Mr. Campbell, have a motion by Mr. Campbell, second by Mr. Egan. All in favor? Aye. This meeting is adjourned. Good night and have a good summer.
I'm ready.